Hey guys, what's up? Thank you for joining me for another video and on one of my favourite games of all time, The Witcher 3, asking that age-old question which is always talked about: do we need a Witcher 4? There are some people who do want a Witcher 4 and there are some people who don't. I'm just making this video to let you guys know where I stand as an absolute mega fan of The Witcher 3. I have it on PC, PS4, Xbox One, before the Game Pass. I originally got it on the Xbox One, and I have it on the Nintendo Switch. I have played and completed this game on every single version, multiple times, and the DLCs, and I just want you guys to know that before going in, so I'm totally biased. I love this game. It definitely has its flaws, and on the note of obviously with Cyberpunk being so broken at launch, and people were saying, oh, but The Witcher 3 was broken at launch. No, it wasn't. Okay, it was not broken at launch. There were some bugs, there were some glitches, absolutely, but nothing game-breaking. The story was still great. All the great things in The Witcher 3 were still there. They've just been polished over time. But with the problems that happened with Cyberpunk's launch and CD Projekt Red recently announcing that they're going to be possibly cancelling the multiplayer section of Cyberpunk and just focusing on fixing the single player game, which I think is a great idea, but they've also said they're going to simultaneously do some Witcher things as well. I know they're making a next-gen version of The Witcher 3 for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which again I shall be getting when I eventually get a PlayStation 5. I will be all up in that. But do we need a continuation of Geralt's story? And as much as I absolutely love the Witcher franchise, I don't think we need a Witcher 4. I think Geralt's story has been done to the fullest extent that I think CD Projekt Red could do it. However, if they're gonna make one, I think I'd prefer one where you create your own Witcher and you it's an RPG and you're right there, open world. Think The Witcher but Skyrim, if that makes sense, where you at the beginning of the game, you're young, you're going through the trial of grasses, and then you pass, you become a Witcher, and you go out then into the world and hunt monsters. Maybe an MMO or something, I don't know, but not a direct continuation of Geralt's story, Geralt, Triss, Yennefer and all that. I think it's been done. I don't think there's anything more really they can do with Ciri, and I just think the Witcher trilogy is great as it is. The first game is good, the second game is better, the third game is great. And that's kind of the way you want to go with your game trilogy, really. You kind of want the first one to be good, at least, then the second one to improve upon and be better, and then the third one, they just really nailed it with the third one, in my opinion. It's not just the gameplay. It's, don't get me wrong, Geralt can handle like an absolute ass bag at times. He's not perfect to move around the environment, but the voice acting is absolutely on top notch with everything else, which is a plus in video games, because usually you can have a great game that's a great game, but the voice acting just sounds like some randomers off the street phoning it in. You've of course got all the side quests, you've got the Witcher contracts, the main story itself, you've got the characters, you've got all the different customization options for Geralt, you've got the choices which actually do have impact on the story and how the story plays out. There's just all the minor details, especially if you're playing on the PC version. You can just see every emotion in people's faces and in Geralt's lack of emotion, but you can always tell when he dislikes someone or does not trust somebody, which is really, really cool. The fact that the DLCs themselves absolutely add on, they don't feel disconnected in any way, because a lot of games, as many people will know, they kind of launch their game and then the DLC, you can blatantly tell were part of the game, whereas with The Witcher 3 the DLCs are just separate adventures, especially Blood and Wine. Blood and Wine adds on so much. It's basically almost a full game in itself. So this is one of the only times I'd ever recommend getting a season pass or buying the DLC for a game straight away, because it's definitely worth it. The base game of The Witcher 3 alone is well worth your time, and that's why I don't think we need a Witcher 4, because The Witcher 3, you could potentially have hundreds of hours on that game. Not to mention there's Gwent, which people absolutely love. I don't mind it. I absolutely suck balls at it. I'm no good. I wish I was good. I keep trying. But there's, of course, with Gwent, there's collecting all the cards. There's also the side quests. There's also a story quest for Gwent specifically. And I don't know, I like the idea of getting more Witcher things. I've read all the books, I've read all the comics, I've played the board game, I have the digital board game on the PC as well, I've got Thronebreaker. I just don't, I just don't think we need more. And maybe that's just because of, obviously, Cyberpunk dropped the, excuse me, CD Projekt Red dropped the ball with Cyberpunk. And maybe I'm just frightened that in a reaction to that, they're going to jump back onto the Witcher franchise and just smash something out really quick to recoup losses. I hope they don't do that, because, that they were the golden boys and girls. They were, they were the top tier for a small studio. What they created with The Witcher 3 is just absolutely astonishing. And then I think they overreached with Cyberpunk. I've said that in previous videos, and I hope they don't jump back and make a Witcher 4 just because. I really hope they don't do that. But anyway, guys, please let me know down in the comments what you think. Would you like a Witcher 4, or would you like a Witcher style game like I suggested earlier, kind of like where you create your own Witcher and you go out and there's a new story, new characters, but based on the continent and within the world, and also Skellige. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to me waffle on about The Witcher 3. Please like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Please consider subscribing for more gaming content. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway for a Nintendo Switch Lite, which I'm approaching halfway to getting there, which is absolutely amazing. And yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.